sword in your dreams at night and feel inspired to assign me up to the front line. We'll give the order, you'll storm the border.
All right, welcome into a brand new episode here of the Captain and Madden Show for February 19th, 2026. My name is Mike Madden on my side of things. My partner in crime, the Captain, Michael Corby, on his side. Captain, how are you on this this wintry Friday?
Hello, Mike Madden. Partner in crime. Are we planning a heist? Are we doing something? Like, you got something cooking?
Oh yeah, no. The topic of this episode is let's just do Ocean's 11.
Okay. I need a wheelman.
Yeah.
I need somebody pulling an Ella Fitzgerald.
So you need a safecracker.
And like the biggest Hail Mary possible.
And just an acrobat that comes down and does stuff too. So
and a little Asian guy.
Yes. So coming off the success of the back-to-back episodes last week where we celebrated anniversaries left, right, and center, we're resetting for what is technically season number 2, I would say here. It's not going to be labeled that. We're just going to continue to roll on with what we're doing. And are you prepared for more fun-filled episodes?
Am I prepared? Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
What are we talking about today?
I thought you were going to say, yeah, no, not prepared. No, I thought you were going to say, like, no, I'm quitting the show and we're doing Dropkick Basement.
I'm done. This is it.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you. I meant to send you an email. Yeah, I'm out of here.
Okay. All right. Well,
I signed up for 50. You got 51 out of me. So.
Okay. Well, that's good. This one, this episode, we're just we'll kind of have a general discussion about just things that we don't get. More or less like things in it could be stuff in pop culture. It could be trends in fashion. It could be trends in culture and lifestyle in general, or long-held beliefs, or long-held, whatever, television shows, movies, whatever it is. So, I figured this would be, people always like when we visit the planet of hate, Occupation 2, and we start to tear stuff down. But this isn't really hate. I'm not going to say that anything on this list between the two of us that we hate.
I think there are things on this list that generally, like, if I really would like somebody to explain to me.
Right. Yeah. Help me understand it. Or it's just tell me that it's fine. It's not for you. Because I don't mind hearing that. Like, that's the big thing. Like, in this day and age, like, a lot of people will say, like, I've got to convince you that this is the greatest thing in the world. All right, try. But if it doesn't take, I'm fine with the things that I don't understand or the things that I don't have time for not being for me. Like, a lot of people try hard to adapt things and to, like, all right, I'll try it out for now. But honestly, people out there, people of Earth, that are listening to this podcast, and even a few of you aliens that are listening to this podcast,
you on the bike,
just understand
you on the train.
that there are going to be times where there are things that happen or things that exist that you don't have to participate in or you don't have to understand completely, and that's fine. You do your thing. Everybody does their own thing. Perfectly fine. So let's get into it. Some of the stuff is going to fall into a little bit more of a I don't like it, and I'll tell you why I don't like it. But I think
I don't like it.
For the most part, this is this should be a nice breezy conversation about things that are just not grasping us at this point.
And another thing.
Yeah, right. So why don't you start? Why don't you kick us off with the first thing that was on your list?
Okay, so I don't. This is very kind of specific. I don't know if it's a really trendy thing, like where you would say it's part of pop culture, but it's something I notice a lot lately. I I'm I would be under this winter has been. I understand it gets cold in the winter, and that's it gets hot in the summer, and that's kind of how the way things work. But this particular winter, I think, has been a little bit colder than some of the past winters that we've had.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going that far out of the, like, sounding like I'm an old person who needs a sweater constantly.
Right.
But I've noticed this trend or this thing of like it's literally like I know people are like, oh, it's 10 degrees outside. No, it's actually like 40, like, but it literally has been like 10 degrees like at night with wind chill or even just regular temperature. And I see like mainly men, but I won't limit it to men because there may be women that do this. Guys wearing shorts, and then when they're inside, like particularly like there are a lot of dudes at I am part of a bowling league on Tuesday nights.
Congrats.
And there are a lot of guys that wear like cut off like muscle t-shirts. Like, and it's freezing and like the door constantly is open. It's pretty cold in the place to the point where it seems like a lot of other people are wearing they're wearing pants and they're wearing sweatshirts.
Right.
And it's just one of these things where like you see it all the time where like people are wearing like guys wearing shorts in the wintertime, and I'm just like, are you really that not affected by the winter or by the weather? Are you that like, is there a health thing to where like, is it a sign of high blood pressure that you're that warm?
That's interesting. That's a good take.
Is it, and I hate that, are they on drugs?
Okay.
Like,
all right.
Yeah, are they under, is that one of the things of like when you're under influence of certain drugs and or from drinking? Like obviously there's a lot of guys that drink pretty heavy at the bowling alley while they're bowling. Is that like just I don't want to say like a not a sign or like a
symptom,
an effect of
right?
Symptom of, or an effect of like that. Oh yeah, when I just when I get onto like my third, fourth beer, like I just start get like I don't know what it is, but it just I sit there week after week. There was a person years ago that was on the bus stop with my kids, and he was from Minnesota originally, and he would come down every day in a pair of shorts.
Yeah, and
it was like, bro, it's 20 degrees out. And he was just like, this isn't cold. You will never experience cold until you experience Minnesota cold.
Yeah.
And I feel like this winter has been Minnesota cold,
right?
And people are still wearing shorts. And I'm just like, it's just something. I mean, I can go outside in a sweatshirt. I don't need like, there are times where I just run out. Like, I don't need to wear a hat and scarf and blah, blah, blah all the time. Like, I get it. But I don't know, man. Muscle shirts and and shorts when it's like, almost negative degrees out. That's just something that it boggles my mind.
It's a bridge too far for you. So let me I'm not a shorts wearer in the wintertime myself, but I do know people that do it. And there's a couple different schools of thought. I do believe that there are people that have higher body temperatures, higher body temperatures, who will underdress a bit because they know they don't get, first of all, they know they're not standing outside for a long period of time. So they're like, all right, let me get inside, and I feel more comfortable when I sit in shorts than I do when I am in full pants. So I can see it from that point of view. They're not really affected by it. I do like the guy's answer where he's like, you don't know what cold is. Like, Minnesota cold is way worse. And those are people that their bodies have gotten used to a certain geographical regional climate, and they're willing to shed the pants to wear shorts. I also do think, and there's younger kids that are just like, well, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just going to dress in whatever I dress in, And if it's shorts and a cutoff t-shirt, that's my look, So they're kind of like not rebellion, but they're just sort of like, I'm doing this because everybody else out there is telling me to wear extra layers. I will say, like, you're seeing more of those normally in a winter, you would see a lot more shorts. And I think you're seeing less this year because there's more people like, oh no, I get it now. I should be wearing full pants because the wind chills have been so bad. And we've had, a foot of snow outside for the better part of like a month. So you're showing people are kind of getting affected by it, but I still think it's just more of like, it's that choice. And that's the whole, like, nobody's going to tell me what to wear. I'm just going to make my own decisions and go with it. And, whatever, prove me wrong, whatever, like however it is that they sort of justify the fact that they're wearing cutoff shirts. I mean, short sleeves are one thing. Like, I prefer to wear sweatshirts and hoodies for the most part from probably the end of September until like May 1st. I don't like to put short sleeves on, but if it is warm enough, obviously, you don't need it. But I think to your interpretation of it, it is like, well, it's your funeral if you're not wearing it, and it's like, the wind chill is like negative 10 degrees outside and a big wind comes, you're going to want to say, hey, can I can I borrow a jacket or gloves or whatever it is? So, yeah, they'll learn lessons at one point. So, very good one to kick us off. Very seasonal. I will volley back on my side. One thing I don't get, kind of the opposite of that. I don't understand island vacations. So
Really?
if, let's say, like, and I think predominantly people that maybe go to the same island all the time, my big question for that is, who likes the beach that much that you've got to go back to the beach, the same beaches, Turks and Caicos, Dominican Republic, Aruba, you name it. Like, there's all these vacation and destinations.
Every island that's mentioned in the song Kokomo.
Yes, every island except Kokomo. But I don't like the beach. First of all, this is probably a me versus anybody else sort of deal. But I don't understand who likes the beach that much, where they're like, it's the main activity that I'm going away for a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever it is. And all I'm doing is, well, like, I'm on a beach resort. That's limiting the exploration you're going to be able to do. Cool. There's a casino there. There's bars there. There's restaurants there. There's lots of great looks and you could take pictures and wow. Hooray. Vacationing in a city is so much better because you can plan a lot more. You can you could sightsee, you could visit local spots. You could go to a museum, a ball game, whatever. Like, it isn't necessarily like confined to, here I am, I'm on vacation on the beach. Relaxation is awesome. I'm never going to take away the fact that you go to an island resort and you're like, I just get to chill for 10 days. At that point, do that once every few years. I don't mind it. But I know people that like go to the same destination year after year after year, and it's a beach vacation, and it's like, don't you get bored of that? Don't you get like a little bit, kind of wrapped up in it? And even the older that you get, like for me, I think the other reason why I don't like the beach or I wouldn't like an island vacation is that I am body conscious. So if you're going to like have to wear a bathing suit for 10 days in a row, I think I'm going to pass. I'd rather go somewhere that I can experience a little bit of like different amenities that like a city may have to provide. Las Vegas has all the gambling. They have the shows. They have, interesting like lore and sort of backstories. It's like that would be like, all right, mix it up every once in a while. And if you do your beach every 3 years, that's fine. But like the rest of your time, you should be like trying to, experience other things and do other types of vacations. That's one man's opinion. I now open up the floor. What do you think of island vacations?
So here would be my thoughts about why people would, that go to either island vacations or the same places every year. Or one, I do firmly believe in the never-ending summer.
Okay.
People are always, especially if you think about it, for us in the Northeast, a lot of people really enjoy, the summer at the Jersey Shore.
Sure they do.
They
Yeah.
rent a house. They they go to the same town, the same beach. They have their spots. Some people like Seabright, other people like Belmar, some people Manasquan, LBI, wherever it is.
Seaside, sure, yeah. Creatures of habit.
And while I'm not a big fan of sand, not to sound like
Oh, it's the worst.
Anakin Skywalker, but there are people that really do enjoy the beach. So when they're mentally in their head that like, oh, it's now winter time, it's dark out, blah, blah, blah. I want to go somewhere where I can have that revisit of the summer. I go to an island, I hang out on the beach, and there is a thing that does kind of happen where I experience it. I get up in the morning, I go to work, it's dark out. I work my day, come home, it's dark out. I don't really see the daylight.
I get that.
Lack of vitamin D does kind of play with your emotions. You do kind of go into like I think they call it the winter blues. So if you got a week where you're whether an island or whatever, and you're out in the sun, you do kind of get like all right, well, I have my 5 days in whatever beach or whatever island that the Beach Boys sang about. I come back and you know what? It's almost like, all right, kick off. I only got 6 more weeks of winter or 8 more weeks of winter, and spring should be like, this is kind of like, it's a jolt to your system. The other reason why people may go back to the same places, like especially if it's like an all-inclusive like island thing, would be while you're there. And I've experienced this going on cruises. They're trying to get you to come back.
Right.
And the idea is
incentivizing.
Like, if you book now,
yes,
you're going to save money. Plus, like, you only have to put so much money up front right now, and then you can pay the rest off as long as you have it paid off by October. Or people put it on their credit card and then they have the whole year to pay it, at their leisure. Either way.
Right.
So there is like an incentive to coming back to the same place. My other thought is there are a lot of people that like to drink, and all they really
you can drink anywhere.
But they want it like I said, they want to go. You go to an inclusive place. And you don't have to worry about getting in a car. You don't have to. The food's there, like the drinks there. I prepaid for my alcohol in a lot of these places.
Yeah.
And I paid that off, throughout the year. And I'm going to make sure that I drink my bar package while I'm down there. And also, a lot of those people, and I'm not casting judgment. A lot of those people are the ones that are getting up and they're just, you know what? I'm tired of the winters here in the Northeast. I'm tired, and they're the ones that are moving to Florida or South Carolina or Georgia or whatever, because they're tired. Like, you know what? Those are the ones that go to Florida and end up.
Yeah, I got
really, honestly, from what I've heard of, people who live every day in Florida, getting up and going to that's their retirement. They get up, they go play golf, and then they go to a some sort of beach bar, and they pretty much drink. By 8, 9 o'clock, they're in bed.
Sure,
So
sure.
that would
That's why I say I don't get it, because I'm not a beach person, and it isn't necessarily like I would want variety, creatures of habit, or just.
well, that's to me that I mean that would be the part of where a cruise is kind of a nice thing because you're out at sea for a day, you stop at a place, you're there for like a day, you get back on the boat, you're out at sea, you go to another place, and then you go back home. Like an all inclusive, you're there in the same, like, yeah, you can you could risk it, especially if you're in a foreign, if you're in a foreign country or whatever. Like some places will actually tell you, like, you don't leave the resort.
Yes. Right.
And to me, that's always kind of like weird. Like,
Well, but you're exactly right. Dominican Republic, they will tell you like there's a good side of the resort to stay on, there's a bad side of the resort to stay on. The second that somebody tells me that that's the case, I am marking that as my last trip to this place. But there are people that are like, oh well, they told us the rules, and I'm staying on the side of the island that they want me to stay on. And it's like, why would you go back to the same place if there's some sort of a danger, and they're limiting your exposure to what you can and can't do while you're on vacation? Then how is that relaxing? I don't know.
There's also that thing where me and you are also the type of people where, we have personalities where we can't listen to the same song over and over and over again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We can't. Like some people, they go. They have a vacation in a certain place, and they have the time of their life.
Get it.
Something happened, and all they want to do is just kind of like, oh, I'm going to go back to Aruba and try to relive what I just did.
Right. Yeah.
And then,
or you have a crew or a family that you go with. Yeah. That's.
So,
I can understand.
That would be
right.
That part of it.
I can understand part of it. It's just it's something that I don't.
Yeah,
I don't get it myself. What's your next?
Hey, I don't get skiing. So
okay, all right. Is that on your list or?
No.
Okay.
So, I next thing I have on my list is tattoos.
Okay. All right. No shorts, but no tattoos either.
So, I don't have a tattoo.
No.
On my body. Never have I had the desire to get one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm not I get it that some people get tattoos that have a meaning to it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Primarily, most of the time, like this is for somebody that I lost that was very, that was very close to me, and it's a reminder. And I get that. I'm not, if that's the way you want to remember somebody, I'm not, that's your choice or whatever. Mm. I've also heard people explain that there's a rush or a sensation of actually getting the tattoo.
Yeah. Sure.
That they become addicted to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess the actual needle, like the feeling of getting the ink.
Yeah.
Not my thing.
Okay.
I've also heard reasonings where, not to get too dark, but people who are victim of certain tragedies or assaults or whatever,
trauma,
that the tattoos kind of disguise that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But like, I just don't get the sleeves. I don't understand getting face tattoo. I guess if you get a face tattoo, you're kind of covering, like, you don't see that same person in the mirror. Or the neck tattoos, it just, maybe going forward in society, they'll become more acceptable.
Oh, they're as acceptable as they've ever been, for sure. Yeah.
But my thing is like, well, I should say maybe the generation that would like, is there going to be a day you're going to walk in and your doctor is going to have face tattoos and a neck tattoo? Are you know what I mean? Like, is the president of the United States going to have like, something
on his knuckles?
Like I you know what I mean? Like, are people that I guess you would consider white collar, are they going to be those type of jobs or those situations going to be more open to people that have these different features where now, it's kind of like, all right, you're either, you're working at Quick Check, you're a DJ, or you better be somebody famous that can kind of get it. Like, otherwise, like nobody really wants like, I don't know. I can't imagine. I'm on my deathbed and I need an emergent surgery, and a guy comes out and he's got face tattoos. I'm probably not feeling very. I'm certainly, as my anesthesiologist is putting me under, I'm not feeling very confident that I'm going to wake up again.
Here, all right.
I just think there a lot of it. Yes, there maybe if you take 100 people that have tattoos, maybe 20, 25 of them have it for those reasons that like and I think a lot of the other ones, it's just, well, I saw so-and-so got this, so I'm getting like, and some of them are just real, like the tattoos where it just looks like they're not even colored in, and it just looks like someone literally took like a black magic marker and doodled and made like stick figures on their legs and stuff. Right. And you're like, oh, did somebody draw on you? And you're like, no, those are my tattoos.
Right.
Like, you look stupid.
Let me help you walk back a couple things. First of all, I do think you're seeing it more in what would normally be labeled as corporate culture. Because I mean, again, it's yes, maybe it's not the face, like maybe it's not the really upfront tattoos that you're seeing, but certainly under that suit, there's probably a guy or two or a girl that has sleeves or that has, their torso or their legs, inked up in some way, shape, or form. And yes, if you're on your deathbed and you're opting to have a surgery, I hope you're getting knocked out and you're not caring about what the tattoos that the doctor has as he's doing your surgery. As long as he can do your surgery, judge the man on his mind and his credentials, and the woman on their mind and their credentials. Don't judge them on the color of their skin, Captain.
You're at Bayshore Hospital. You're laying on a gurney.
I don't get to pick.
You have like.
I don't get to pick.
Have like 90,
it's my doctor.
You have 95% blockage in the one artery, and you need emergency surgery. And some dude that looks like Post Malone is standing over you, going, "Don't worry, Mr. Madden." Like,
if he explains himself correctly and like backs it up with science, I trust you. You look like a goof, but I trust you.
If the last face you see looks like Post Malone versus the last face looks like Jack Breyer,
okay,
like I think you're going to feel a little bit better with option B than option A.
But that you don't get to choose. I hate to say it. You're walking a tightrope here,
and I'm not saying that just because somebody has a face tattoo that they're a bad dot, whatever. I'm just saying. I think, again, in 25 years, it could be totally completely acceptable.
It's getting there. Your teachers, there's tons of teachers. Everybody in the restaurant industry has some sort of a tattoo, and you eat their food and you hold them up to the highest regards as restaurant chefs.
But most of them are in the back. You don't see them making your food.
Okay. All right. You're talking about the people that you have to face, and you're like, oh man, he's got a face tattoo. I'd worry if he didn't have a tooth. That's the first thing. If the doctor has like a droopy eye, or he has like half an ear, then I'd be like, I don't know if he's doing the right thing. I think he's missing valuable parts. But
so somebody who's born with a droopy eye or born with a defect where he lost his ear, but somebody consciously went out
This is
and got
you're twisting my words.
an American flag tattooed on their cheek. That's the person you want making the decision. Like, if all of a sudden you're at a crossroads, that's the person.
It's not a brothel. You don't get to pick. You don't get to like line the doctors up and like that's the prettiest one. I want to go with him or her. Let's go. Why do I keep saying him first?
I'm not.
This is a testy.
You're totally missing. You're totally missing it.
Oh.
I didn't say the pick. I'm saying the last face you see before you go under. How confident are you feeling that you're going to, like, it's not like you're going to sit there and go, oh, no, get me that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like I would have a conversation with the doctor and it wouldn't just be, you know, I would. And if the guy looks like, or the girl looks like, you know, fucking Jack Kennedy or like this handsome, like, well put together, like TV style doctor, then I would probably say if they sound like an idiot and they can't explain what's wrong with me, I don't trust them. But if the guy that has the face tattoo actually breaks down x-ray footage and gives me like this is what I'm going to do when we have you on your deathbed, I'm going to go with the brain. I don't care if they have a tattoo.
We're getting way off topic.
We're getting way off topic. You're just not getting a tattoo.
Okay. I don't get it.
Okay. No, that I totally understand because I'm not a tattoo person either. But one of the reasons why I don't have a tattoo is not because like I don't think that there's a breakdown in intelligence, because I do think that
I never said there. You're putting words.
You're putting words in my mouth.
Good, you sir.
All right.
I knew Jack Kennedy. You, sir, are no Jack Kennedy.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's somebody
just not
less intelligent.
You just don't get it.
They have tattoos. I'm just saying I look at sometimes and I go, wow, that may, especially more so in women, but I will sit there and say, wow, that makes you look very less unattractive.
Okay. All right. Then that is your call. I get that.
That's my guess.
I
didn't know you were so into tattoos.
I'm not into tattoos at all. I agree with you that like it's not my speed. It's not something that like I'm interested in getting or learning about. But if I'm curious about it because it's in an interesting space or it's a certain color or it's large or whatever, I might just like chat that person up and say like, oh, what's the significance? Or like, hey, that looks like it's new. Like, you know, tell me the story behind it. And you usually get the story. Or if they're just like, I just love getting tattoos for, you know, for the thrill or because I already have enough. And it's like, oh, okay. So it's like, it's skin Pokemon for you. Wonderful. Great. Let's talk about something else. So there we go. You want to know my next one?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's an offshoot because I mentioned chefs in my rant before, that all chefs seem to have tattoos, and a lot of them. I don't get. I'm really going to sound like a hillbilly. I do not get fine dining or like people that chase specialty items. Sort of like viral foods. So fine dining to me, if I go to a restaurant, first of all, if I go to a restaurant, like it's kind of the opposite argument of what I was talking about the island vacations. I want to do my research on that restaurant and know exactly or it's got to be a place that I've been to a few times that I know I'm going to like. I don't like to get too wrapped up in what other people think is the best restaurant in the area, or you have to try this because it's so different than da 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 da, or like it's got a Michelin star, or it's you know, it's trendy, it's new, it's in an area that is up and coming. This is this type of cuisine. The and this is a lot of, I would say like it's more inhabitive of like younger people who are just like, I think they are sort of falling for the hype of fine dining or elevated delivery food, or you have to go and get the special menu stuff from McDonald's, or oh, it's going to be spring, you have to go, like, this spot's going to open up and they're only open from 1 until 4 on Tuesday afternoons, and it's like all of that stuff. If you're chasing what seems to be a perfect meal, you're running over 20 better, more affordable or manageable meals to get to something that's so uniquely special that it's kind of crazy to me. Now, this doesn't count for, like, if there's, the best pizza in New York or the best hot dog in New Jersey. Like, yeah, like, I'll eventually get to those places because those are easy enough foods that I can understand. If it's a Wagyu beef patty over a reduction of kale and all of these, like, fancy alliterative terms or descriptive terms for the dining experience, or it's only the first 10 people that get reservations get to, like, go into the special room where it tilts every 45 minutes and, like, your food might slide off the table. Like, dining shouldn't be a theme park experience. It makes you sound very bougie if you're like, oh, we need to go to this place. Very pretentious vibes. And if you want to go to a nice restaurant, a steakhouse or whatever that is, like, I have no problem with people doing that, like, once a year. And, like, hey, this is our anniversary. We go here for birthdays, or we want to try this place out. But the people that chase it, and it seems to be part of their personality, that they're going to, like, the fanciest places in town, you're going to get very poor and eventually disappointed very quickly. And I just don't understand chasing that experience. Well,
This is the part of the conversation where I have to somewhat excuse myself because of my 8-year-old palette of food that I do eat.
Right. Yeah. I had a feeling you weren't going to disagree with me on this, but
I don't have an expanded palette of things that I do eat. So I don't crave avocados from Mexico because they're only available between this date and that date, because it's just, I grew up, my mom was not, God rest her soul, was not a very good cook. We ate everything very bland. There wasn't anything where, contrary to Maureen, my wife's side of the family, that, they'll get up and they'll marinate, they get up in the morning and are very into whatever they're cooking, like, marinating this or smoking this and different things. And God bless them. A lot of their food that they make is amazing.
And I stand behind that. If you're doing it yourself and you're getting into cooking it yourself, more power to you. Experiment as much as you want.
As far as fine dining, my biggest thing is, okay, I'm already uncomfortable because most of the time when you have to go to fine dining, you have to get dressed up. Mm-hmm. And I don't really enjoy getting very dressed up.
Strike one.
So I'm already kind of uncomfortable as it is. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of these places that you go to, because there's a demand for people going to these type places, you're literally at a table and you have 2 feet in between your table and the table next to you, which I'm very a lot of times I sit there and I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to say, because it's like, I feel like either I don't want people listening to what I'm talking about, or I don't want to interrupt with, like, I almost feel like I feel like if I start talking, I'm interrupting somebody else. Like,
Yeah.
even though I'm
Yeah.
not with them, like I'm interrupting their conversation and I feel rude.
Mm-hmm.
I just, the whole, and then like, you know, I'm not a, I'm not a fucking caveman. Like I know how to use utensils and like, I know to put a dinner napkin on my lap and shit, but like there's certain etiquettes and stuff. Like there's a lot of things that go on in fine dining, like that
Courses and
yeah,
yeah.
where I have to sometimes have to look at my wife and be like, what am I supposed to fucking do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that type of shit. So I rather a comfort place. I rather comfort food. That's more of my style.
Yeah. Of course.
Again, like people, like you said, anniversaries, birthdays, or whatever, milestones. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be like, we should go to fucking McDonald's. Like, I get it.
But even then, like you have to order off the secret
always,
menu. Yeah, it's stupid.
I don't even know if it's so much like it. You can do it with foods and restaurants. There seems to be, which may be spurning off. Like everybody wants to be like Christopher Columbus or Ponce de Leon or like, I discovered this. Like I discovered this restaurant. You all need to go there and then you need to come back and thank me.
Pat me on the
for
back.
telling you about this so-and-so's bagel shop over on Main Street. And so like, no, don't
go there.
The other 20 bagel shops to get to this one because it's like, dude, it's Jersey. Like if it ain't, as long as it's not, you're buying bagels from like the supermarket or fucking Dunkin' Donuts.
Mm-hmm. You're going to get something that's good. Yeah.
You're going to get a good bagel.
Right.
Like whether it's Gems, whether it's Homedale Bagel, whether it's Bagel Boys, whatever it is.
Right.
It's like pizza in New York.
Yeah. Like, that's the point that I'm getting at is that if there's some place that gets these rave reviews, even if it is regular food, you're like, I get it. Like it's something that's unique and you want to be able to say like, they just opened today. I want to see if they're any good. But then if that's somebody's whole personality, then it just becomes like, oh, you're just the obnoxious and pretentious food person of the group, and it's like, you're boring me already. So I don't get it. It's not my scene. Let's move on. What's your next thing on your list?
Okay. I don't have anything food trendy on here, so I'm going to go to all right. I get it. She has really big boobs and they're great. Mm-hmm. And God bless her in the advertisings and stuff that she does.
Martha
she
Stewart
shows them off. Yes. I was going to go Joy Behar.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney. I get it. She's got big boobs. A lot of people have big boobs.
You get that, but you don't get...
I get that part of it. Face-wise? I watched 2 seasons of that that stupid resort show or whatever the season.
Yeah, White Lotus.
On.
Yeah.
White Lotus. Seen a couple of movies that she's been in.
Mm-hmm.
Not really doing much for me as an actress. She had a couple of funny skits on SNL, which basically the 2 funny skits played off the size of her boobs.
Right.
Whatever. I don't understand. There are a certain breed of men that are like, that get very fascinated with like supermodels or actresses, and like then that's the person they want to compare every woman to.
Mm-hmm.
She seems to be that new person.
Yeah, she's it girl.
The it girl.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like look, I know there's a certain a certain generation like, oh, you know what? If you're the it girl and you're pushing yourself to be the it girl, then guess what? You're going to get judged by your looks. You're going to get judged by whatever. And you're going to get judged by what you do. Like if you're a singer and you're the it girl, but there's 10 other girls that sing way better than you, then I'm going to point out the fact of why is that girl the it girl when
There's
10 other girls are
a
better
crew
singers?
that's right. Yeah.
Or if she's the it girl and I can tell you 10 other better actresses that are around her age that could have done those parts way better, like, I'm going to point that out. So before I get like, oh, you're just a judgmental blah, blah, blah. For somebody who is the it girl,
she doesn't deliver for you.
Yes.
Okay.
She's not doing it. Not to say I wouldn't motorboat the shit out of her.
Yeah. No, and
but that's without saying.
I think that's what gives her. Listen, I like her. I like the stuff that she's in. I think she's hit or miss when it comes to acting. You know, I'm not handing her a Golden Globe. She already has 2 already. And it's let's bottom line it. A lot of it is it's 80%, 90% the boobs, right? Like that's what's bringing the attention to it. They're great. She loves to take them. She dumps them out. She's got a lingerie line. She's charming on interviews. She kind of has that a little bit of the girl next door, and then she can get a little dirty. It'll be very interesting after she. I don't think people go to the movies to see her. Let's put it that way. I don't think she's putting an ass every 18 inches. But she certainly gets a lot of people on their phones or on their computers searching for what she's doing. So the horny factor is like to the max with her.
Right.
There's a million other people out there that are as attractive, but it just seems like a lot of the attention just gets funneled to the project she's doing because she's got great publicists and it's a hype train. Like I said, I enjoy her work and I enjoy like more of her looks in general, and maybe I'm a little bit more interested in that. But if you're not talented on the acting side or the juicy roles start to dry up, then you will end up in a situation where it's just in another 2 years, it's going to be like, well, remember Sydney Sweeney was red hot at that point? Like, there's going to have to be like a pivot to a real, and I know she's trying to do serious roles and try and do the Oscar bait stuff, but I don't think it's translating to somebody saying like she's going to be anointed as the next great actress. Do you see what I mean?
I had a conversation with a person who will be nameless. Wasn't you.
Okay.
So they had like this benefit. It was out in California, and it was something I think it was like they were giving certain recognition awards, and I think it was about women in empowerment.
Okay, right.
And all anyone talked about was that she showed up on the red carpet in a sheer dress.
Yeah.
Basically,
I know the one.
You could see
nipples.
They're very much nothing to the imagination.
Yeah, the whole one.
And my thing is like, it's women empowerment, and a lot of women are trying to fight that. Like, don't judge us on our looks, judge us on what we can do.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of, I don't want to say inappropriate. I thought it was in bad taste or bad judgment to wear that to that award show.
I get it.
To which I got, you're just an old man and you're body shaming somebody. And I'm like, I'm not body shaming. I'm just saying. Anyway, all I'm saying is, and I agree with you, that if hopefully she can continue to take on some challenging roles. Otherwise, Sydney Sweeney might become Joni Sweeney.
Who's Joni Sweeney?
Isn't that the one from Full House?
Jodie Sweet.
Or is that Sweet?
Jodie Sweet.
Yeah. Fuck that joke.
Swing and a miss, Captain. But
Oh,
that's okay.
down goes Frazier.
Let me hit
Down
another.
goes Frazier.
Let me hit another celebrity. Drewski, a comedian. We want to put comedian in quotes. I guess he does like podcasts, or he does a little bit of stand up. Some guest appearances.
People on podcasts are not funny.
No, they're not. Podcasts are done. But like this Drewski guy, like in the last, I want to say like the last 2 years, is fucking everywhere. He's in commercials. Last weekend he was on the NBA All-Star Weekend. He was the host of everything, and he's got a microphone and like he's trying to make jokes.
Was
and
Kevin Hart sick or something?
Kevin Hart did it for. Yeah, I guess he aged out of it. But it's very much that same mentality of it's like here's a guy that's he's safe enough and kind of vanilla enough as a black comedian that white people like him. So he's going to be in a T-Mobile commercial. He's going to be in, he's guest starring on this show. He's on a comedy tour, and it's like all the attention goes to it because I think there's maybe he's funny. I don't know. Like I've given him a shot a couple times, and I'm like, after 5 minutes, you want to go like, all right, remote control, please. I need to turn this off because this guy is like, he constantly tries to like, he's a try hard comic. So he's trying to say something funny all the time, whether it lands, whether it doesn't land. And he's got a group of people that are behind them that are like just the fake laughing. And you could tell it's fake laughing. And I don't know really. I don't know his backstory that much. I don't know where he come from. But when somebody goes from an unknown to part of everything, it's very like it's a Kevin Hart thing. It's a Snoop Dogg thing. They tried to do it with Lizzo, and it's like just embrace the ones that are funny, and stick with the ones that can host something, or they can land a joke, or they can like contribute to the writing behind the scenes of something. Like you're putting your eggs in this guy's basket. We just said it. Like the time in the spotlight is very fleeting. This guy could be gone in another 2 years, or he could blow up to a point where like you're never going to be able to escape him, and he's going to get his own like channel or whatever that everybody's got to subscribe to. But like I don't understand the allure of him. This was actually the inspiration of doing this particular episode because I'm watching Sunday. I was watching a little bit of the NBA All-Star game, and during the commercials of the NBA All-Star game, here he is doing a T-Mobile commercial, and it's like, dude, I'm having Drewski overload, whatever it is. And it's like,
does he have a first name or is he a one?
No,
name,
he's one name guy. He probably has a shoot first name, but the stage name is Drewski, and it's like this is
Sinbad?
This is something that exists in a world that's not for me, and I'm cool with that. I would love it for it to be Sinbad, but it's just not for me, and I'll take my answer off air.
Yeah, I vaguely know the person from the T-Mobile commercials. It's funny because he's in a commercial with the guy that was in What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh yeah,
Guillermo.
Yes.
The guy that played the non-vampire that lived with the vampires.
Mm-hmm. He's a familiar.
Unfortunately, Guillermo doesn't have any lines in the commercial. It's the other guy that just keeps talking. And I was like, okay, did they just cast Guillermo in a commercial, or is the other guy like somewhat famous too?
Yeah.
And they're both in the commercial together, and there's going to be another commercial with the two of them where Guillermo actually says something.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just two hired actors and somebody was like, hey, weren't you on that FX show?
Yeah,
And
right.
he said, yeah, you know what I mean? Like
He showed up for an
so
audition, right?
my my questions were answered in the 5 minutes that I watched the All-Star game. I was like, oh, that's the guy from the T-Mobile commercial. He's interviewing basketball players. He has to be somewhat famous.
Yes, yes.
So Guillermo is not just a backup person. Maybe one day down the line, there'll be another commercial where Guillermo gets to talk.
Right.
Hopefully with other vampires in the background, but that's just maybe too much to hope, but whatever.
A lot of hope there.
Did not know he was I just thought maybe I don't know if he's a comedian or if he was just a celebrity for being a celebrity, for making TikTok videos or something and just being well known or knowing other people that are well known. So I can't say I'm on overload or that I think there are avenues for me to avoid ever really knowing who he was.
Oh, me too. I'm just I've been barraged by him in the last 6 months, and it's sort of like I reject. It's not my thing. So, what you got next?
Okay, so I'm not gonna go. I just want to mention, and I'm not gonna go into this. So there's been a recent trend with a couple artists putting out protest songs of what's going on in the world outside of here.
Okay.
One of the bands is U2, and I happened to just see that, the story or whatever, and I happened to start reading the comments just out of, okay, here's a band that sold like a bazillion records in worldwide and their concerts sell out, and here's going to be a constant list of people who just, I hate U2, never into them, I'll never see them again,
Too political,
blah, blah, blah.
too this, too that, too Irish.
Everything that you get. The surprise trend that was on the comment section, which I didn't understand the outrage when it actually happened. I think it was about 10 years ago. People are still pissed off that U2 gave everybody a free album on Apple's iTunes. Like, I get it. Like, I'm sure as someone who tries to be funny, as my last attempt fucking up the person's last name. I guess, like, whatever, name a band that I'm not really into. If all of a sudden they gave, I woke up one day and when I had iTunes and I would download music through iTunes, if I went on there one day and there was like a Hatebreed like free album, I'd be like, the fuck is this?
Right.
I don't listen to this. Or like, a band like System of a Down or a hip hop group that I'm not into, suddenly there was an album on there, I'd be like, well, I'm never really listening to this. Now, if it was one of those things where like all of my storage was used up.
Yeah.
And then like I wanted to download something that I really like.
Keep going.
And the thing that was keeping me was this damn, System of a Down album that I don't want. But I mean, you'd have to have you could fit a record store worth of music into like 120 megabyte or whatever. So my thing is I never really understood the whole outrage to begin with, that a band was like, hey, if you have an iTunes account, we're going to give you a free album. Hope you enjoy it. If you don't like us, don't ever listen to it. And here we are 10 years later.
And people are still
pissed off about it.
They're still
every other comment
holding
was,
grudges.
This band sucks, and I still can't get their album off iTunes.
So, all right, when that happened, and I won't belabor this too long. I'm hit or miss on YouTube to begin with, right?
Oh, I'm not saying like,
but the point that I'm getting at is if you fire up your iPod and you go to download a couple songs and all of a sudden it's like, here's a whole U2 album that I didn't ask for. And yes, somebody could look at that paranoid and be like, I don't trust iTunes now because they're just gonna like foist songs on me that I'm gonna hit shuffle and I'm not gonna be able to avoid these U2 songs, and this is messing my day up. So I'm with the consumers that are angry. I still wouldn't be angry about it at this point because we are like 15 years past when that event happened. It was a misguided cross promotion. It could have been handled a whole different way than how they handled it, or there could have been an understandable like rollout to it. The fact that it was automatic, it gave a lot of like Big Brother is watching me sort of like inclinations where it's like I'm afraid to like utilize your service now because if I download the Jay Giles band, am I going to get something else that is that I don't want just piggybacked in there, almost like a virus? It just gets tacked on because iTunes wants to. They're in a partnership with this artist to push product. What's funny about all of that is the people that complain about all of that, they probably moved platforms and are working with Spotify, right? And if you make a set list on Spotify and if you put it on shuffle and you hit the button the wrong way or you don't turn the setting off, Spotify is just adding stuff to your playlist, their recommendations based on like the style of music or the genre that it is or the decade or the artist selection. So it still happens. It's just, all right, I'm paying a subscription fee to Spotify and I can take, or I'm not, and I can manually take that stuff off or learn how to disable it and get it out of my life. But it's still like the algorithm now is running the way that the platforms are established. And I think people can understand that. They've learned to understand it now. But at the beginning of that, when U2 was the cannonball, more or less, that was being fired at us, everybody was like, never again. I will never be invaded by U2's music being handed to me for free. And, with the suggestion of, hey, the next time you're listening on shuffle, you may hear these U2 songs and maybe you'll like them, maybe you won't. But that's the whole point, is that I think in that day and age, people were very averse to like, I just want what I want and I don't need this outside entity. So they're just the scapegoats. That album did suck, by the way. I deleted it right away.
Well, just about everything they've done since 2000 has pretty much sucked. So.
Yeah, right. While we're on music, do you know this guy Benson Boone?
Is that the guy that does the backflips off the piano or something?
I don't fucking get that guy. That's not for me. First of all, it looks like it's just flips. Like the only time that he's got a couple like chart hits, and the only videos that anybody shares is him in concert doing a flip. Or now he's in a commercial with Ben Stiller for like Uber Eats and they're doing flips. And it's like, we are running into a situation where we're not listening for music. Now it's gymnastics we have to do. Now it's like, you have to do like a pro wrestling spot in order to get on the charts or to get popular. Like we're losing. And he's very lame ballads. Like they're all of these like overproduced, like way too like oversung ballads. And it's just, to me, I don't get the jumpsuits. Listen, fashion isn't really the thing that I hang my hat on. But I mean,
he looks more like
you're wearing old Elvis jumpsuits.
He should have took over. Which one was killed by the tiger? Siegfried or
Roy?
Roy?
Siegfried. Yeah.
Like he should have took over for the guy who died.
Right. Yeah.
Like the jumpsuits and the cheesy like late 70s, early 80s mustache.
He's got the mustache. He definitely looks like he gives off pedophile vibes. And if that's the style, we better change the style pretty fast, because this guy looks like he's going to get caught with an underage girl at any moment. Like you could turn on the news right now and be like, Benson Boone caught with an underage girl in Las Vegas. I'd be like, saw it coming.
Benson Boone's going on tour, but he can't play within 1,000 yards of a school.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not it's not meant for me. So I totally understand that. Like the music these days, the actual like chart topping music isn't my style. I like some of it, and I could get along with it being out in the public. But then when I hear this guy, and then inevitably somebody's like, "Oh, Benson Boone. Oh yeah, Benson. He's the guy that does the flips." And it's like, you got to do flips to get people's attention these days. What is this, Ozzie Smith taking shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals? Like, it's gimmicks, man. Like gimmicks. I don't. It does my head in. Sorry to go on a rant. You said something about music, and I wanted to throw Benson Boone under the bus.
Awesome. It's much like a lot of things today. It's lost on me.
Yeah.
I'm sure if somebody played me maybe one of his like whatever's trending number one or number two on Spotify, I'd be like, oh, I didn't know
that guy.
I know that
Exactly.
song, but I didn't know it was him.
Yeah.
I know him from the jumpsuits, the cheesy mustache, the backflips, and I think it was not Bonnaroo. What's the other
Coachella.
really trendy Coachella? I think he brought Brian May out and they did a medley of Queen songs. Saw that video.
Oh, did they? Okay, that makes sense because
like,
he's Freddie Mercury reincarnated.
And I was like, whatever, hey, you're a fan of Queen. Those are some pretty big shoes to fill if you're going to sing Queen songs. But I'm sure there were days on tour where Freddie himself probably never hit every note. So I always have to give everybody kind of like a pass on that. But yeah, that's all I think he was on SNL and he came out like in normal clothes and
then
they were tearaway clothes and he
yeah.
and then I don't know, he did a backflip off of Keenan Thompson or something. I don't know. So yeah, I just rack it up to a lot of things that, and I'm fine with it. Like there's, believe me, when my dad was 48 or 50, he didn't get a lot of things that I was into when I was a teenager.
Right.
So that's whatever, but yeah, it's kind of like, okay, you got your foot in your door doing the backflips. I need to see something else. And I'm not saying I need you to start jumping off other things. I need you to start performing. I need you to start making some more better music, I guess. I don't know.
Not my thing.
He'll be the halftime show.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, and they'll drop him from the ceiling, and everybody will wet their pants and split their jumpsuits, and then a sting of police are going to come and say, like, "Well, wait a second, he was at the Chateau Marmont with a 13-year-old."
He'll be the first halftime performer to perform with an ankle bracelet.
Yeah, seriously. Do you have another one for the list? We'll start to wrap these up.
Oh, I got way more.
I know. Well, we don't want to scream and yell all night. Let's narrow it down to 2 more each.
2 more? Wow. Okay. I'll stay with a person. So the CEO killer, Luigi Mangione. Okay. There are people that are out there that, all right. There are women who find him attractive and are rooting for him to beat the case or think that he's innocent solely based on the fact that he's, I guess, attractive looking. There are people
which I don't get,
by
the way.
Well, he's not your type of guy.
No.
There are people that are so anti-establishment that are actually rooting for what he did because he killed a CEO of a medical insurance company And yes, I'm sure there's a lot of medical insurance companies that have screwed people over repeatedly and have probably sent people to an early grave because of their stupid policies and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you also have to take into the fact that this isn't somebody who like, oh, I snapped and I did something dumb. Like, he planned this out. The hypocrisy of it all was that he wrote like this whole um, like manifest or whatever, a letter or whatever, where he talked about um, big brother, big companies, and all this other like, the machine is killing the people and blah blah blah. But before he shot the guy in the back, he was drinking coffee at a Starbucks, and he got caught eating at a McDonald's. I don't know what else is more Fortune 500 than either of those two companies. Yeah. So the hypocrisy is kind of huge on this guy. Plus, I've never shot anybody in my life
yet.
But from what I've heard, shooting somebody in the back is kind of like the most cowardly thing to do.
Mm-hmm. True.
And this guy basically went up to a guy, this man getting out of a car and shot him square in the back. It's, yellow belly,
Yeah, right.
It's a coward thing to do, like to shoot somebody, not that, oh, if he would have turned, told you around, hey, turn around, and then shot him and, face to face, like it wouldn't have, he's still going to get convicted of murder, but I don't understand people that are either rooting for that based on any reason why that anybody is rooting for this person, thinks that he's being treated unfairly and that hopes that he is cleared of all charges. He is a murderer. He should be going, if he doesn't get the death penalty, he should be going away for the rest of his life.
Which he is,
in a jail cell.
Here's the thing. I think a lot of people, and the sentiment of, well, he took down a powerful billionaire or the head of a corrupt medical company, or did his family wrong. Like, there are people that are like, we're going to white knight him. And we're going to say that this is, kind of like the Robin Hood mentality of like, you're robbing from the rich to give to the poor. Like, it's just desserts because what they do to all the people. You still murdered the guy. It's very much also, we live in a contrarian society. So nobody, and I don't care what they do, as evidenced by everything that goes on in the news, I don't care how black and white the results of something should be, somebody's going to say out there in the world, the commenters, the blind supporters, whatever it is, somebody's going to stick their hand up and say, he's not getting a fair shake, or she's not getting a fair shake, or you're looking at it the wrong way. So we're inundated with contrarian beliefs and contrarian, just because everybody has to argue about everything always. So whether you can see it plain and clear because you know what the law is, that this man shot another man in relatively broad daylight and should go to prison or serve a death penalty because of this, there are still going to be people who like to play the agitator role, who are like, well, actually, I see it from this point of view. That's all well and good. As long as those people aren't on a jury, you can hang outside of a courtroom. You can do a silent protest. You can support this guy as much as you want. Wonderful, wonderful. Once he's actually in the hoos cow, all of that dies out, and nobody's gonna remember until he decides to make a tell-all or do a 2020 interview from jail where he explains his actions again and tries to sort of make a buck off of the terrible crime that he committed. Everybody eventually will die down on Luigi Mangione mania. It's already died down enough now that they found him guilty and he's awaiting sentencing and whatnot. So I think we're on the underside of this. So sorry, Luigi, your 15 is on expired time. C'est la vie. How about this? Here's what I don't understand. The Cybertruck and SUVs and large, like Hummer style SUVs in general. I don't get the desire to own one or drive in one, or the fascination that some people have with their existence. The bigger the car, like, all right, if you're in a rural part of the country and you don't have paved roads and you need an amphibious vehicle to get from point A to point B because you live in the marsh and you have a house in the marsh, or it's on the other side of a lake and you can't get anywhere aside from going through the shallow lake, go ahead, get yourself an SUV with stacked up tires so you can get to and fro. The fascination of somebody living in a suburban world and that has a giant SUV that takes up streets, multiple parking spaces, just looks obnoxious. It's foreign to me. I don't get that. These vehicles are way too expensive and they're way too impractical for usual neighborhood travel or commuting travel. The SUV in general, and I'm saying like, and I'm not saying like I'm ceding the fact that there's a certain size of SUV that works for like a larger family because you have a lot of kids, you have groceries. You want to pack the car as much as possible. I get that. I'm talking about the ones that are really high end, the Hummer style vehicles that you will see in cities and in suburbs that are just, these are military, this is designed for military use. And somebody opened them up to people that had tiny ass dicks who were like, I want to get the biggest car bigger car as possible to impress nobody because I can. And because they're on the market now, I need to like overpay for this. Look at me, look at me. Then I pivot to the Cybertruck, which I literally just saw one about an hour ago. And here's my impression of the Cybertruck. You know when you're like 3 years old and you're trying to draw vehicles for the first time, and you're like, and somebody says, draw a truck, and it's just like a triangle and boxes, and you try to make the drawing as big as possible because you think a truck is very big, and you're like, that's what that is. That's what a Cybertruck is. A 3-year-old drew that, and Tesla was like, we'll put it in the market. It's the ugliest fucking thing in the world. And people are like, that's the coolest truck in the world because it's sentient and look how quiet it is, and you know, it just looks like it's a space vehicle. Like, fuck you with your space vehicles. Those are for space. They're not for Highway 36 in the Bayshore area to take up 2 lanes and to put in a parking space where somebody could go, look at that. Either if they're smart, they'll go, look at that giant piece of monstrosity. That piece of shit is such a fucking eyesore and impractical and ugly. But then there's whether they're Musk fans or whether they're just like fans of giant trucks, they're like, oh, those are so cool. I don't get it. I never understood the need for an SUV. I'm a single guy. I don't have kids to tote around. But here they are year after year getting bigger and more elaborate and more, overly practical, where you could just put your body in a car, press a button or turn a key and drive where you need to go. Too big. Not my thing. You love a Cybertruck.
So I own an SUV. The one that I have, there is a thing of I'm tired of having like this small car that's low to the ground, that's blinded everywhere I go at night by such large ass vehicles with these LED lights.
Mm-hmm.
Having something that's a little bit above the ground helps me avoid that.
Okay. All right.
I do not have a like Suburban or something that where, but it's a decent size. I get probably like 30 miles to the gallon. There are moments where it has come in handy, moving stuff for people
Sure.
or
Yeah.
buying stuff at. I don't have to call somebody else to be like, hey, we want to buy this at Home Depot. I know you have a pickup truck, blah, 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 or whatever.
Yeah.
So in those instances, it does come in handy. Yeah, there are moments where I sit there and go like, shit, I should probably get like a nice compact kind of car and get, my wife has a hybrid that gets like 50 miles to the gallon, and then I'm sitting there going, shit, man, I'm getting like 30 miles to the gallon. Like, it would be nice to like never have, to only have to fill my tank up like maybe once every 2 weeks. The Cybertruck thing here, they don't annoy me. I don't want one.
Okay.
But they don't annoy me. But I could tell you right now off the bat, yeah, they're all I'm gonna say 98% of them probably driven by D-bags.
Yeah, well, okay.
That are either, just
too rich for their own good.
Elon's my boy. I love me a Cybertruck, whatever. The ones that do kind of annoy me are the giant like pickup trucks that for like, I get it. There are reasons like construction site trucks and stuff like that.
Right.
I get it. Like, certain types of vans that, if you're a plumber, if you're some sort of like whatever, that I understand why you need those. But it seems to be more of a probably because of how much they cost, the cost of them. And I don't know for tax purposes anymore, because you really can't write shit off anymore.
You could claim it as a business expense. If you have your own business, you can certainly do that.
Yeah, I don't.
But you're not doing that with a Cybertruck.
There used to be a lot of things you could write off on your tax. You can't do it anymore. But they seem to use these for everyday everything, and it's just like, then when you are that person trying to drive down the aisle of a parking lot in like ShopRite or something, and it's a busy Saturday or Sunday, and you can't find, that oasis parking spot where you could whatever, and you park in a regular parking spot. Now the back end of your truck is stuck in the middle of the fucking aisle.
Yeah.
And now now it's causing like this big ass chaos because there's 2 or 3 cars both trying to get down the aisle because it's a busy Sunday.
Nobody can back
out. No one
can
get around it because your giant stupid fucking pickup truck is stuck, like 3/4 of it is stuck in the middle of the fucking aisle because the parking spot is meant for a normal car, not, this giant pickup truck or the conversion van, like plumber's truck or whatever that you're now deciding to use to go get your weekly groceries. And it's causing this big ass backup. And the minute that you go by, the first thing is, God, what a fucking asshole. And then you drive away. That person may be very nice. I don't know.
It's not my,
person's probably 5'4", driving a giant truck. But yeah, I as far as the Cybertruck, like the first couple of times I saw them, I was like, oh, they're kind of cool. Like, kind of looks like something out of like if you were a kid in the 80s watching one of those like RoboCop movies where they made futuristic vehicles, like that's what that would have looked like 25, like 20, 30, 35, 40 years ago. That's what we would have thought cars looked like in the future.
Mm.
I kind of like just the normal metal or like side. Like I don't like the ones that are in different colors. Those to me look really like I saw one day and it was orange. Looked really fucking stupid.
You fuck yourself with that one.
But then again, I would tend to think any car in orange probably doesn't look well. But yeah, big, giant, oversized, unnecessary vehicles in residential, like, yeah, it can be annoying. I get it.
Yeah. It's just it's not that it's annoying, and if somebody were to say to me, "This is why I have this," I can totally understand it if it's explained to me on a case-by-case basis. But the prevalence of them and I know a lot of people that have no like side business or any reason to have the size of the truck that they have. It's just, well, I have it because I could afford to get it, or I really wanted one, and my payments are astronomical, but this is my dream car. And it's like, join the Army. Then you can play with that. Become an astronaut, and you can have a space truck that flies you to outer space, and you can play in the stars.
My favorite is the family that has one kid but has a caravan.
Yeah. Well,
what the fuck you need a caravan for? You only got one kid.
I know. It's crazy. One more on your side. We'll do one more on my side, and then we'll get out of the people's hair at this point. Pick your best one that you have left.
So I got New York City, today's basketball.
Okay. Yeah.
Americans' fascination with royal family. All right, I'll go with this one. I don't care if they're fake or not. The long fingernail fascination. Oh God. I don't get it. Why would anybody want that long of fingernails and they can't do anything?
Yeah.
They can't. And the worst is I'm gonna try to emulate the sound.
Yeah.
Whenever they're on, because they're they can't hit. They literally can't put the bottom part of their finger on. So they have to tap everything with their nails.
Oh,
I hope that's coming through.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah.
Or in anything or you walk into whatever, and if they have a touch screen menu to order, and all you hear is tick, 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 and it's just like, and then when they try to do normal stuff, like, and they can't do those things because of their fucking nail. It's like, I don't know. It might be. It's definitely a woman thing. I don't think I've ever seen.
No, only in Guinness Book of World Records.
And don't get me started on the people that have the long toenails, because that's just
no. I don't want to
gross.
see anybody's long toenails. Fuck that. Your garbage feet. Put your feet away.
I think it's just another thing, just like women dyeing their hair purple and all this other. I think it's just another thing. Just it craves it. Like, oh, look at that lady with the long ass fingernails or whatever. Like, I think it's just an attention thing. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh wow, like you must not have clipped your nails in forever, and God forbid, like,
who does your nails? Right. It's just it's basically like it's an advertisement for who does your nails.
Yeah. Or just you're complaining you don't have money for this, but then you're spending like $100 for fake curly nail.
I think you're right. It's very much a culture thing. Like there are certain cultures, or maybe it's older women that just like grew up in a family that, like, somebody worked at a nail salon and they did it for them for free once, and it was like the greatest feeling in the world because they were being pampered, and now they have these giant fake press-on nails, or whatever it is. They have all these like extensions to them, and they curl, and it's like, and somebody if I can't, like, all right, if you can live your life without having to tie your shoes, God bless you. Great. If all of your shoes slip on, terrific. Wonderful. But if, like, how do you eat with a fork when you have your hands curling like that? Like, how do you, like, thank God I don't see them all that often. but it's kind of like what you were saying about the tattoos. I don't know if I could take a person seriously. That is certainly one thing. If there was a dental hygienist or a nurse who showed up in my room and she had long curly, not just long nails, but long curly fingernails like that, and said, "Oh, I have to we have to do your teeth cleaning right now." It's like, how are you putting on the glove to reach into my mouth? You're going to take your acoustic fucking giant fingernails?
What are you saying? That people with long curly nails
I will
are less
judge.
intelligent?
I will judge the long, obnoxious curly fingernail people, and they are not allowed anywhere near my mouth with their curly hook hands. I will say, I'm leaving this place and I'm going somewhere where
they're very well.
Yeah,
and
right.
organized
They're not.
and know how to.
No, they're idiots. They won't cut those for medical purposes. So yes, this came back to haunt me. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Like I don't get it. I won't get it because it's a girl thing. But it's just sort of like, I don't have an attraction to it either. Where it's like, oh, I can get like Sydney Sweeney. I get giant boobs. I think she's an attractive face person too. So that's where this is where we will absolutely be lockstep and say the curly long fingernail people are wild to me, and I don't get it. Here's my last one.
How do you pick your nose?
I guess you don't. You're not supposed to, but how do you blow your nose? If every time you go to pick up a tissue, you're puncturing holes in it, how do you get like you have to use like the butts of your hand to like take a tissue out and try and blow your nose that way?
How do you blow your nose when you keep on stabbing yourself?
Seriously? Yeah, god damn it. What if you have an eyelash? You just hope the wind blows it away? Nope. Not for me. Don't get it. Here's my last thing. Volleyball. I don't get volleyball. Maybe the most boring sport. And I love a niche sport. Do not get me wrong. I love a niche sport. The Winter Olympics are going on. I could watch curling all day. I could watch skeleton.
Is it volleyball general?
Yeah.
Or is it like 5-on-5 volleyball versus 2-on-2?
It could be 5-on-5. It could be 2-on-2. Well, actually, 2-on-2 is more palatable because there's less rules. And there's less, like, the whole rotation stuff and the whole, like, I don't understand how many times, like, I could watch it. Normally, if I'm going to watch it or I'm going to pay attention to it, it's during the Olympics. I never understand the rules. I never understand how many times you can, like, serve it and then it turns over, but you don't get a point, but you do get a point and it's not a full point. Like, it's just, there's too much rules. Nobody explains it the right way to where an idiot like me can understand it. And I find it to be so, like, utterly boring. And thank God there isn't really like a pro league for volleyball. I know there's I know there's probably a league out there for something and for everything, but that it hasn't like caught on in the United States. Beach volleyball where you have two people on one side, two people on the other side. That I get because it's less people in the mix. When it's a full team volleyball thing, get the fuck out of here with it. There's too many folks. I'm going to be offending friends and relatives that have played on volleyball teams. I'm sorry I never came to your volleyball games because I'd rather take a nap than like take a nap in public and watch volleyball. So it's not for me. I don't get it. Now you're going to tell me all the great things about volleyball, right?
No, 5-on-5 volleyball, like indoor, I find very annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I still don't understand why one girl has a different color shirt than the other four.
Thank you. Another reason.
I know there someone has probably explained it to me, and maybe I just didn't care enough to like. Oh yeah, I'm gonna remember that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's one of those things where I'll equivalent to. There are times where like 3-on-3 overtime hockey is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's quicker. There's not as many. there's not as many people on the ice. There's a lot of things that happen on a 3-on-3 overtime hockey that I know I get that you can't sustain that for 20 minutes, 3 periods, 20 minutes, 60 minutes.
Yeah.
It's very tough. But so it's the same thing. Like I'll watch 2-on-2, if I'm flipping through channels and there's real, especially Olympics or whatever, or if there's nothing on, like 2-on-2 beach volleyball, I'll watch. I get it. It's there, but you watch 5-on-5, it's like, oh, like you have 3 people at the net, so the one person's going to serve, but all 3 of them are going to jump.
What are we playing to?
The other 2 are decoys,
right?
And it's just, and then all that goes on, and it's still like, basically the only way you get a point is if someone's not paying attention, or eventually they just like hit there's 5 people. It's like, it's the same amount. You have 5 people in the same amount of space as 2. Points are harder to come by, and it's boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 2-on-2, like there's a lot more action. It's a lot better. I prefer watching that. Whether it's on a beach, whether it's in a gymnasium, I'd rather watch 2-on-2 than watching 5-on-5 volleyball.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
I think 5-on-5 volleyball, basically its main purpose is for high school, and it's for people to get themselves ready for basketball season.
Okay. All right.
Because pretty much everybody who played on volleyball played
It's tall enough. Yeah. And it's also a tall person sport, which strikes against me for being short.
There
Not
are,
happy with
I think
that.
there are positions that being more low to the ground has an advantage, but if
You have to rotate.
obviously at net play, it doesn't.
Well, eventually you got to be in net play. I don't know. I don't get it. No.
Unless the person with the different colored shirt doesn't have to rotate. I don't know.
I don't know. And if somebody out there wants to explain it to me, I'll listen to you for about 30 seconds, and then that's it. Because you've already taken me out of it, explaining volleyball. So, sorry, volleyball people. Sorry, Drewski fans. Sorry, long fingernail people. Sorry, shorts wearers in the wintertime. We've really torpedoed a lot of these.
Sorry, Sydney Sweeney.
Sorry, tattoo guys.
Sorry, Jody Sweeten.
Jody Sweet. Yeah, apologies to Jody Sweeten, Benson Boone. I think that's a good place to stop, because I think we've covered a lot of ground. There's other things, honorable mention stuff that we could put in there, but I do think we belabored this point. We're traversing a little bit too close to the planet of hate in some of these discussions, and it should be couched as we don't hate the people who do these things or have these things or participate in all of this. It's just not for us. It doesn't appeal in certain circumstances to the captain or I, so we just don't get it. You can have it. It's your thing.
I'm sorry, person who took the picture of their food at a very high expensive
It costs you a lot of money.
Restaurant and put it all over their social media.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah. No, it looked like you had a great time. It's just I won't come to that restaurant with you. Celebrate on your own.
That doesn't make me go, ooh, I really want to eat that like right now.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. All right. Are you happy with
I'm sorry to all those who still have iTunes and are really mad that they can't get the
YouTube album off your iTunes. Yeah.
I'm sorry to those who have an iPod.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. If you still have an iPod, you're planet zero. Anyway, I think we had a good discussion. I think we've cleaned the slate with this one. How do you feel?
Yeah, I guess we're just the 2 old guys sitting in the upper deck at the Muppet Show.
That's right. Yeah. Next week we'll take those guys down a peg.
Yeah. I hate Muppets.
No, you don't. No, you're full of shit. You love them. They're the best. We do like one of these episodes. It's just we're going to have a love fest here before maybe in the spring we'll do a things we love episode. Things we can't get in. Things that are guilty pleasures will be coming up.
Things that are trendy that we go right along.
That we're right onto it. Yeah. All right. We'll start setting time aside to make notes on that. But for this episode, we're gonna put a tight little bow on it. So he's the captain on his end. I'm Mike Madden on my end. I hope you guys have a great night, and we will catch you later.
Bye, Mike.
You're a genius, but you need some proof. Ask anybody on the payroll to go out with you. If they avoid you, then they'll award you. Definitely.